So you probably gathered from the title of the video today, we're going for a little bit of a different video. I want to kind of talk about what the hell is going on with FC25, my thoughts, where I think it could be improved, plus what is also the massive issue with this game. Now you can see here, here's my team. This is not a flex my team situation. This is just to show you how much I've been grinding the game. Everybody you see here is first owner. This has all come from what I do on the channel. If you don't know the channel, I do a lot of how to grinds, how to play the game for free, etc. Now, I will be honest with you, this year has been the hardest year out of any of FIFAs or FCs I've ever played. We've got a really good team here. We've got a couple of these from Foot Champs as well, don't get me wrong. I get on average 11 wins in Champs. I usually have Elite Division Rival rewards, and I have Elite 1 Squad Battle Royale. So I play the game a lot. I have now only played to 5 wins in Rivals. I can't be bothered with the sweat anymore, and I'll get to that in a minute. But just to show you where I am right now, in terms of Rivals, they're in Division 2. We're just about 1 win off from getting the next reward. Now, just to show you, in case you don't believe me, in Elite Division, I have gone ahead and did the Alaba card that came out the first week of the game. And basically, I went ahead and put the FC Pro badge on them. So you see, I've got some crazy cards in my club. There's the FC Pro badge, just to show you. So I am doing all of the SBCs. I am trying to make this game as fun as I possibly can for myself. Now, the biggest issue I have in this team alone, and I just won't apply for all of you guys, but I want you to hear from my point of view, how can I improve this team? How can I improve this team? We are on the 13th of November of recording, and I literally have no positions where I could improve unless I get like an R9, a Garinchka, etc. Ronaldinho, those types of players. And now this is the problem. Now, there are a couple of things I believe that have led to this situation. I like to call this the PES effect, the Pro Evolution Soccer event. Basically, what that means is, with PES, you play the game for like a week, 2 weeks, and you've got all the cards you want. The game then is solely built around the gameplay only because you're not grinding the menus. You're not trying to get the next best card for your team. You're like, okay, let me play. I will be honest with you, I've had more fun with just a standard silver or gold team than using this team in Rivals or Champs. Because the gameplay is horrendous. We've got the Mario Kart catch-up. If you don't know what that is when your striker's running through, your winger's running through, and any defender can catch you. So you might as well just have gold cards, unless you're doing like the speed boost glitch, the step over boost, or you're just spamming the right trigger or R2 on your controller to get the double tap sprint, and then you effectively get into the box. Reason being is everybody's playing very defensive. This game is built for defensive purposes only. For example, people running a 5 at the back. Play 5 at the back all you want. I'll play 4-3-3. If you want to have a look at the custom tactics, there's another video I've done. But the reason being is, it's so hard to score in this game because AI have absolutely ramped up the defensive AI and just completely left the offensive AI to do what it wants. And don't even get me started on the roles. I personally think the roles have been one of the major issues in this game this year. So, for example, if we go to the roles, you see here we've got inside forward plus, holding, playmaker, defender, wingback. They've made it too complicated. Now, I'm not saying the roles are complicated. What I am saying is, let's just say I have Mbappe. I want to play him as an inside forward, but if I move him to the left wing, he doesn't play the same way as he would as a striker. So that being said, if I want a really good inside forward, or use Rafinha as an example of inside forward as his roles, you can see here at right wing, he gets it as a ++, which is meant to be the best of the best. The elite, if you like, the top world-class-esque in that position. He's fantastic at right wing, but let's say I've got Doku, who's also an inside forward on, or ringer plus on the right-hand side, etc. I want to swap them over. I actually get punished for doing that because now Doku has no playstyles or roles, sorry, and Rafinha has only the role of inside plus, not plus. And that applies for your midfielders. So let's use Yaya Toure. Got him from Foot Champs, very lucky. He's got a deep line playmaker plus or holding plus as a CDM. If I feel like I'm in a game where my opponent is bullying me in the midfield and I want to switch them out, so I go, okay, let me bring on Sissoko into the midfield here, and I'm going to play Yaya Toure there to try and get myself a bit more aerial presence and bigger players in the midfield. Yaya Toure now doesn't have a role, which means he tracks back slower, he loses his position more, doesn't engage in the game. It's kind of like the previous years when they didn't have chemistry. He just doesn't play very well, and it's the same for Sissoko. He has 2 out of 3 chemistry, and he has a holding plus. So that means he doesn't play as well as somebody else, even if I bring him off the bench. Now, if we go back to what I had before, when they're all on pluses or pluses and full chemistry, they play fantastic. And now I understand that is the point of how EA have set this up. But My Van Dijk's got 2 out of 3 chemistry. With a defender, it makes no difference. So this back line could have 0 chemistry as long as I do not control them and they've been told where to go. For example, roles in general. Prime example is Kyle Walker. His role is going to be fullback or wingback. I'm not using his plus. The AI will put him where he needs to be every single time because the AI is ramped up too much. And that basically means in the short term and the basic ways is this is too easy to defend. There's no skill gap in defending. There's skill gap in attacking because you either have to do player switch lock-in, green time finesses, green time travelers, first time power shots. That's the only way you're going to score. Now imagine you're somebody who works a 9 to 5 or doesn't have a lot of time in the day to play the game. You only get the evening. With how the rivals, that's what we're getting into the next segment now, with how the rivals are set up, you are playing against yourself, essentially, with a skill-based matchmaking. So when I play, I'm playing against someone who does the exact same things as me or knows how to manipulate the exact same things as me. I manipulate them. I am a sweat at this game. I'm not going to deny it. And this is the issue you have. So you can't have a casual game. So you go, well, let me try friendlies. Friendlies is fantastic. If you want to absolutely hurt somebody on FC25 and you want to batter them, go ahead and play that. But then the other issue you've got is draft is just a waste of time, in my opinion. Don't even bother. The rewards are not good enough for what you put in. In my opinion, you should get, if you win the entire draft online, you should get your 15,000 coins back that you've put in, plus the packs on top. So no matter what, you're making some sort of profit. 9 out of 10 times, I'll win all 4 drafts. I get absolutely nothing back. Like, I'll get very lucky and maybe break even. 9 out of 10 times, I'm getting nothing back. And if I do get something, it's never anything crazy to make my coins back. I used to like moments. There were a few things I didn't like about it. For example, score 2 goals in 80 minutes. And then you score the first 2 goals and then you have to wait for the entire clock to kick down. That's not a moment, in my opinion. But EA have now got rid of these. Now, I did a video right at the start when the game came out with the star gallery. And it actually said that these would refresh at the season. Now, it says 309 days. So that implies that they are not bringing out any more moments. They've just buried that underneath. Pretends it never exists, and it's gone. A bit like how events were in the community tab, if you remember those. Then we have ourselves Foot Champs. I don't actually mind Foot Champs. I think the whole system's fine. I don't like the PC cheaters, and I'll get to that in a second. But in terms of how Champs is, yes, it's sweaty. The rewards are good. I'm not going to say they're amazing. They are good. They are getting a little bit stale now. But I don't mind this mode. This mode can stay how it is for all I care. Squad Battles is an interesting one. Like, if you are grinding the game at the start, Squad Battles is fantastic to learn the basic mechanics and get a little bit of back. Now I don't even bother. Like, I've done one, and that was for an Evo, which I'm going to get to right now with Rush. Now, Rush, in my opinion, has been an absolute waste of time. Reason being is, one, EA absolutely forced us to play it. And at the beginning, these packs are good when you're grinding. And I'll get back to the packs in a second and with my team. So when you're grinding these, you can be like, well, you know, you get a player pick an 84 plus. A load of these packs back, fantastic for a brand new account. For an account that's been playing from day one, not that waste your time, to be honest. 70,000, if everybody doesn't do the objectives and everybody's just rubber banding doing their Evos, you're getting between 2,000 to 5,000 max a game. So that's 10 games to get 50,000, which is going to be 70 plus minutes. So almost an hour and a half just to get the 50k rush points if you're not doing it with friends, which means this takes even longer. So you're looking at 2 hours here alone. They brought out another one. And again, this is their way of trying to get you to win the game and not rubber band. But 1,000 SP points, and again, the packs you get back are not fantastic for how long this will take. Let's say you win all 15 in a row. That's over 2 hours if you win all 15, because every time you score, the timer stops in Rush. The ball goes out of play, the timer stops. So it may say 7 minutes, but it's not actually 7 minutes. It's closer to 10. Even 15, depending on how many goals you have to score with your team just banging in goals non-stop. So that's going to take you 3 hours. Then you got to do rivals on top if you want rewards from that. If you are playing squad battles, that's another one. And it goes back to what I was saying about my team. So with that in mind, let's say you have a really good goal team. You don't have to have special cards. You've got a really good goal team. You've evoed a few cards and you're like, okay, I need to get like an Mbappe now to improve my team. You're not going to sit there for 3 hours getting a 78 times 2 to try and improve your team. And I feel like EA are doing this in quarterlies. And what I mean by that is the first quarter, we are getting these types of cards. Let's ignore Putellas because obviously she's a player of the month. But we're getting the Swansons, the Morgans, the Adamas, right? Because they have one play style, couple good roles that can help you in situations. Some of them have 5-star, 4-star, 5-star, 5-star. This is like end game cards of the previous years. What's going to happen, and it kind of proved it with the Ballon d'Or event, which I'll get to in a minute, is what they are basically doing is when Black Friday comes around, and hopefully this video does okay and you guys can see this, when Black Friday comes around, they're going to give us 2 playstyles per card, which means all of these cards you see on your screen now, give or take a couple, are going to be obsolete, which means they're not going to be very good. They're going to be behind the meta curve because EA want me to get the Mendy with 2 playstyles or Mendy with the extra rolls on top of his playstyles, which is now the meta role or formation. And then quarter 3, which is around March time, we'll get 3 playstyles and everybody will have roll pluses and everybody will have 5-star, 5-star. And then when footies comes, which is like in summer, that's the last quarter, so 4 out of 4 playstyles, everybody has plus rolls, everybody can play every position, people can ping the pole around, no problem. And this is why I don't like where the game's going. Like, I'm not saying they should give us a card and that should be the only card throughout the whole year, but if we were to go to the news now and have a look at the cards that are available in packs, you can see here that some of these packs, where is it? Here we go. Like, we are not packing 90% of these cards. The bottom 3 that you see there, the 384s, are probably the ones you are packing. But you have to be, it's like hitting the lottery. You got to win to get Hansen, Rodri, Beckham, Ribery, Martinez, Nedved, Van der Sar, etc. Son. Those types of cards are just there. It's like putting a carrot in front of the donkey. You're just chasing it. You're never going to get it. That's just how it works. They've got you running around the wheels. And yeah, you could argue, well, you know, my luck's in and I got it. That will be one of you out of a million. The reason being is their prices are what their prices are. So let's go ahead and look at Beckham, for example, and I'll have a look at one of the other Centurions. Beckham at the moment, you can see here, is 1.2 million. He's 1.2 million in a game where the market's crashed over and over and over. And he's 1.2 million because he's hard to pack. If you look at his base card, they're 500 because icons are a little bit different to normal cards. We've got SBCs out, right? So let's go ahead and look at Son. Son's gold card is unbelievably good this year. And this card's 2 million. And you could be like, well, that's because he's so good, like I've just said. But if you look at his stats, he's only got +2s and +3s and a +2 overall. Now, he may have better weak foot and skill moves. I don't think he does. No, he doesn't. And then the rolls, he just gets an extra roll on top. So you're paying an extra 2 million coins just for +2s and +3s, which I promise you, you will not notice in-game. But this is one of these cards that EA have on the game now where you're like, well, I need to get that song. It's like giving someone, hopefully YouTube don't demonetize me here, but like giving someone a little bit of the hit or the drug that they want and going, well, this is what you could get again if you go ahead and hit it. Now, that leads us on to the store. Now, I don't really want to cover the store too much. I don't care what EA do with the store. If they want to monopolize everything, that's the issue with the game. But having this many promo packs in the store, it's just unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. Like, you can get yourself a guaranteed 84 or higher, which are 5 attackers, 5 midfielders, 5 defenders, or goalkeepers. All of these cards are 84 rated or higher. You can see here the odds. You've got an 83% of getting a walkout, which for somebody who doesn't care about the game and just wants to play it casually, go, do you know what? I'm just going to buy this pack. If I get somebody really good, I carry on playing. If I don't, I'm going to go to Black Ops. I'm going to go to Fortnite. I'm going to go play something else. These are not necessarily killing the game, but what they're doing is everyone that's a die-hard player, and I'll show you my coins here 1 second. Everyone that's a die-hard player has got themselves either around 1 million coins, and I have got 1 million coins invested in the market with Team of the Week. So I've got around 3 million coins. And now that's down to basically, just to show you here, basically down to playing every single week and getting Elite Division rewards, which is like 60,000 coins. Don't misquote me on that. Squad battles are 20,000 coins, so that's 80,000 coins there, right? Then I get 11 wins in champs, which is around 100 or 200,000 coins off the top of my head without checking. And then that's not including any of the packs I get. Now, bearing in mind, especially in champs in particular, I get myself 11 wins here. You can see we get ourselves all these packs. That's tradable. So if I get something out of that, that's fantastic. But I get 6 Team of the Weeks. Now, Team of the Weeks are selling for 15,000 coins each. That's another 90,000 coins, right? So I get 80k. So from Foot Champs Rank 3 alone, I'm getting 170,000 coins, more or less. Then add the rival rewards on top and the squad bar. So I'm getting around 300,000 coins with packs included every single week. So that's almost, what, 1.2 million coins a month, which is fantastic. That's great for the game. You know, that gives more coins on the game, means people can buy players they want. But now what EA have done to counter that without announcing it anywhere is they've made the pack weight go right down. So now, going back to what's in the store, you're not packing any of those top cards because you've got so many more coins, you just go and buy the players. And what do EA do to stop you getting that or losing your coins? They bring out the loan event, which is obviously the Ballon d'Or event that came out, and I'm going to touch upon a few things. Now, EA tested this. The reason why they did that was to see if people will respond to it. Does that bring back the player base, and etc. Now, what I recommend that you do from now on, if they do another one of these loan events, go ahead and sell all of your players and just wait for the loan event to come out. Get a couple players into your team that you're using anyway, and then you can just go ahead and use the loans and have a better team. Wouldn't surprise me if we get one over Team of the Year where we get like 3 loans for Team of the Year for the weekend. And again, going back to what I said about Foot Champs is a fantastic game mode that's now being ruined by loans. Because everybody had Mbappe, Mate, or Salma, etc., right? Now, getting into the menu grind, which is what my main channel is built around, the 83 triple upgrade, right? You can get this done for free if you grind the game properly, but you need an 83 rated team, right? So that's 11 or 9 83s, 2 82s. That's going to give you 3 83s back. So you lose 9 83s, and then you get 3 back. The chances of you getting any of those great players is extremely short. They're very, very low. Now, don't get me wrong. I am one of these people that have packed Mbappe from the League SBC grind, so I am on the fence with the grind. I think the grind, I like it, but this year I'm not enjoying it as much, and I'll get to all the SBCs that have been complete. So, we've got Putellas, which is ridiculous to grind. We've got Veron, which is also very difficult to grind. We had the Max Icon SBC, Rafinha, that was very hard to grind. Sissoko, great value. Robbie Keane, I didn't think was terrible either. Then we've got ourselves the Ballon d'Or challenges, which are fine. I don't mind that idea, but EA monopolizes. So what that means is the last one you need to do for the objective, they make it expensive, so you're losing more coins to get the SP, right? On top of that, we have Hero SBCs and much more. Now, there was a Ballon d'Or upgrade, which is now gone, and that was an 81 rated team, which overall, you lost 2 players, so you needed an 84 rated team overall. Now, I wanted to show you something really quickly on Twitter, and that's basically what Nepenthes has said, and I completely agree with him. And I want to talk about this for a very, very short amount of time. You can see here at this tweet at the bottom in blue, it's generally like EA are actively trying to stop people from playing their game. Crafting completionist is woeful, which I'll get to in a second. The Ballon d'Or upgrade, which is what I talked about, needs an 84 rated squad because 2 of the players you don't need. So you need 9 players, but they count. And then the new Evo that comes out, which we're going to get to after the crafting one, is bad as well. Now, the crafting SBC is currently out, as you know, and I built my whole entire channel around doing these. I'm not doing this. I don't think, in terms of an upgrade, it's terrible. You get 375s back or whatever it is for 11 goals, right? You can get upgrade goals very easily from the League SBC. Takes a lot of time, but you can get them easily. But what I don't like about this, and this is where the game is an absolute mess right now. So, for example, let's say you did all of the crafting. We know the packs are bad. We've covered that. The packs are terrible, right? 82 times 5, 81 times 3, 80, blah, blah, blah. You need to put in 1,100 golds to get this done. And what do you get at the end of it? An 82 times 5. So this is how much EA value your time, right? So you can put in 1,100 gold. You can do that on your phone. You can do that on the web app. You can play on the console for a little bit and do it. But you can do it away from the game. That's why, in my opinion, these rewards are bad. Because if you go back to Rush, you practically get the same packs back, if not better, for playing the game. They want you to play. They want you to be on the game for their shareholders. That's why they're doing this. And this is where the game is a mess now, because you've got even just general Rush. They give you better packs back for playing Rush, which you could do in 5 games if they have the bonus event on, which I don't at the moment, than putting in 1,100 goals. Like, just let that sink into your head for a second. Yes, it is here for 15 days, more or less, but 1,100 goals. Let's just say they're all minimum price at 400. You're looking at like 400,000 to 500,000 coins to put into this. And the best pack you get back is an 82 plus times 5, which you can actually just go ahead and do an SBC and get an 83 times 3. I know it's bad value, but in terms of what your time is valued at, this is where it goes wrong. So now everybody goes at this objective. Well, this objective isn't worth it. I'm not playing it. Rush then comes out and people go, well, that's going to take me 2.5 hours and I get bad packs back. I'm not going to do it. So you got 2 things already negatively reflecting on the game. That means you're not going to do it. And then on top of that as well, when we get to the Evos, this is also killing the game in my opinion. I think Evolutions last year were fantastic. A couple of things that could have been fixed. This year, I think they've got them completely wrong. Like, completely wrong. And I'll get to that in a second. But you can see here, we got 2 here that cost a lot of FIFA points or FC points. You get a lot of coins as well. And like I said, for me, that's fine because I earn about 300,000 coins a week. I don't mind putting coins in there if I want to have a good card. And then the same for the team of the week ones, etc. There's a couple of free ones in here. But we get ones like this, the Titans Guard, where it doesn't improve their stats, but improves their play styles and their in-game stats, right? So he gets plus 10 stamina, plus 7 strength. If you can tell me where you can see a card that has been improved in strength compared to a card that hasn't, I will give you my account, because you can't prove that a card or a player is stronger in-game because they've got plus 7 on strength. Or that their defending has increased because it's capped at 84 anyway. You are not going to notice these upgrades. And yes, you do get a card design, and I don't mind the card design. In terms of cosmetic and exclusive stuff, if you want to pay to make your cards look better, in your opinion, then I don't mind EA doing that. It makes no difference to me. Doesn't affect the gameplay in any way, shape, or form. All it does is just gives you something more to look at your squad, etc. Now, going back to evolutions and why I think it's ruining the game. So you saw on my team here, I've got 2 Evos in the team. I've got a Mendy and I've got a Kyle Walker. Now, we already know I actually Evo chained Mendy by accident, got very lucky, put his 84 into one and into another. But if you look at this card in terms of just how a game plays, he's got 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot. Very good in game, as always, Mendy. Can only play left back, that's fine, but look at his statistics overall. Fantastic dribbling, great defending for what he needs to do. Physical is fantastic. Pace is always most important. Absolutely unreal. Play styles, he's got anticipate, which is one of the best ones in my opinion, and block, which means AI blocking is broken with him when he blocks shots. And then obviously we booted him up with passing so he can get out of situations. And then in roles, it is what it is. But he's now a left back in my team that I do not need to replace for a very long time. And just remember, Mendy's 86 rated, right? And then we have another left back that a lot of people are saying is the best left back in the game, which I do agree with, which is Theo Hernandez, right? Who's 87 rated. His gold card is around what? For this is use the quick price of 500k. So I've got myself a card in my team that's worth 500,000 coins that I've evoed that is now worth 500,000 coins, and the only better version of that Mendy I've got is this card that you're seeing right now until they bring out more promo cards. Yes, he has a team of the week, which again is a +2, but statistically speaking and playstyles, they're very similar to Mendy. Now look at his weak foot and everything like that. Worse weak foot, the same skill moves. Yes, he can play left mid. They have very similar in-game stats. Very similar playstyles, like, for example, Mendy had rapid and anticipate. Yes, Mendy had block and the passing ones. But you've got long throw. You don't need long throw. Relentless I like because it means he doesn't get tired, and quick step. So, going back to that, that means I've got one of the best left backs in the game that I've evoed. Yes, I could have bought the card and had to spend coins to evo him. But I think overall, off the top of my head, I probably spent, if I were to didn't pack him first owner, probably 300,000 coins. So I've got the best left back for me in the game right now, or the second best left back in the entire game, for 200,000 coins. And he's going nowhere for a very, very, very long time because he's too far ahead of the power curve. And now it's the exact same thing for Kyle Walker. So again, 3-star, 3-star is not great. Mostly lengthy is much better than having not. Right back is fine. Really good stats again for a right back without a chem style on top. And then you could argue, yes, his play styles aren't great. And that is true. They're not. He's got very bad playstyles in that role. But again, with right back in particular, everybody is struggling to find a very good, consistent right back. And then we got our 2 defenders, Van Dijk and Saliba, who are just the meta at the moment. You have got other players, like, of course, I've got Lucio on the bench, etc., etc. And my team's now at this point. Now, I could potentially evo these cards in the near future and make them even better. And that's the same for when I can eventually evo Yaya Toure. I don't need another midfielder for a very, very long time. The only ones that probably change in my team are the wingers at the moment and probably Varane. Don't get me wrong, I like using Varane, but he feels already behind the power curve. And this is the issue we have with the game. Now, if we go to the season pass, you can see here in the season pass under objectives, they had an absolute huge miss this season on the season pass, right? Because if we were to go from the start, I don't mind about loans. If they want to put loans in, they were testing it. It is what it is. You win some, you lose some. But that isn't my main issue with this game, with this season. For example, Season 2, a 78 plus pack, we're used to that. The bundle packet is what it is. A random Shadow or Hunter, which I don't get. Then we got some more loans if you want to try them out. Fantastic. For low levels, I don't mind. We got an 85 rated card that no one is ever going to use at this point in the game. They've pasted it so badly, and I'll get to that as well in a second. A 78 plus times 5 is, again, you can get that from Rush or grinding SBCs. An 82 plus player pick, I don't mind as much, but I don't know if it should be this high up. Toliso's fantastic, but immediately, with no play styles and probably not the best roles, and 3-star, is this guy really getting in anybody's team? I don't think so. An 80 plus times 5 is what it is. An 83 plus, and remember, we have to put in 9 83s to get a triple of these. So we're getting 1 for free, and then we have to get 11 cards to get 3 back again. That doesn't make no sense. 82 times 3, we actually get that from just doing Rush. An 87 right back, I don't mind as much because it's a little bit higher rated. I won't use her, but then we get to go back down to an 80 plus times 5. This makes no sense, especially with Rush being out every single week. We get these packs anyway. Then we get an 83 times 2 for free, and going back to the SBC that I mentioned, an 83 player pick. And bearing in mind, in the Rush objective, we get an 84 player pick now. So this makes this reward absolutely not worth it. Then this isn't a loan. I don't mind Martinez if you want to get Martinez in your team. An 88 rated card is pretty decent. It's okay. The goalkeeper, though. Then we have a loan. And then my next reward's an 82 times 5. And then an 84 times 2. Again, we can get that from Rush. We can get that from Rush. Without any other SBCs coming out. We get Taram loan. An 84 times 4 is much better. An 86 double, of course. Then we get the cosmetic. An 87 times 2. And then we can choose between Marlon and Grealish. Now, my biggest issue with this is I'm probably going to get these cards on Thursday. I think today is Wednesday. So I'm going to get them tomorrow, essentially. I don't even know if they're going to get in my team. Like I don't know which one to take yet, but I'm obviously leaning towards Marlon. But I don't know how I'm going to get him in the team. So if I were to take Jack Grealish, that potentially could replace my Doku. Who knows? And then we get 75 times 100 for 35 altogether. Now, I know a lot of people like that pack, but just hear me out on this for 1 second and just sort of look at it from a different point of view, right? So in Rivals, I'm a 1 win away from getting the first reward, which is 5 wins. And look at the packs that we get. Get a player pick. We get a 75 times 15 and a 70 times 5 by a 75 times 40. So I get a 75 times 55 every single week for getting 5 wins. So let's just say I did that from the start of the season. That 75 times 100 is just a waste of time. Like, we don't need that. And let's say I get it tomorrow. I don't know if I can complete it tomorrow, but if I did, where am I going to put all those 75 times 100? Say if I get 80 75 rated cards, there's no SBC to put them in. Only the crafting. That's the only thing I've got to put them in. And then we have no upgrades. I'm not saying we need picks. I'm not saying we need exchanges yet. We've got the league SBCs. They're okay. A little bit boring now to do. But the game's in a massive mess. And how I would fix it myself, I think this year's a write-off. Like, this year's done. There's nothing you can do to fix this year. Only gameplay. We always say the gameplay needs to be fixed. They need to get rid of rolls. That's my first thing. They need to get rid of hypermotion, 7.9 million. Just get rid of it. We don't need it. I would then basically, let's say Mbappe is the highest rated card from the day one. The game comes out FC26, brand new game. Mbappe is the highest rated card. Let's make Mbappe 85 rated. Why does he have to be 91 with a cap of 99? Or flip it. If he's 91 rated, give us 150 as the max rating of a card. Either way, like, because at the moment, look how many 86s and higher I've got. My whole team is full of walkouts. My entire bench is full of walkouts, apart from Sissoko. And then I was doing objectives with the other thing. So you can see here, my team, a walkout is nothing nowadays. A walkout's it's just a word we use. We don't really understand. We don't even need to use that word anymore. Every decent card's a walkout now. So I think we need to change that. I think if Mbappe is the highest rated card, he's 85 rated. And then they can do a promo, well, like they always do, road to the knockouts. Instead of making them, for example, Doku's 80 to 87, let's say Mbappe's in road to the knockout, he's 86 rated with a chance of being 87 or 88. And then we go through it that way, so we can get used to the game. Imagine you're playing the game for the first time ever, and you get into your starter squad. You can get a very good team very quickly after like a week of doing all the objectives, rival wins you can get, playing a little bit of foot champs if you can, and of course doing the moments to get packs, squad battles on top of that. You can get a very good team, and then you're stuck, just like the rest of us, stuck at the ceiling and not being able to get any higher up without packing an R9, which is impossible, etc., etc. So I think they need to fix that. In terms of gameplay, they need to make it less realistic and more arcadey, in my opinion. Like, it's gone past the point now where we don't need to talk about roles for each player. We don't need to go ahead and, okay, well, I've got Mbappe with advanced plus forward, but he can't play it at left wing, so I'm going to have to keep him as a striker and then try and work my team around it. But then there's broken mechanics in the game. Like, every game has broken mechanics, that makes sense. But I just feel like that this game's a miss. I know this is a long video, I've gone on for one, but you're going to have to let me know if you've listened to any of it and agree with me or not. I like grinding the game, but I am struggling very hard this year. I wanted to throw my 50p at it, as I say. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what you agree with and what you disagree with, and what you would like to add to the game. That's most importantly. What would you change? If you could change the game, what would it be? And I'll catch you in the next video.